Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is GregFPS, and welcome to another episode of the Quick Revive podcast. This is episode number 10, I believe, and today I'm joined by my guest, as always, Wilbo HD, or the co-host, rather, and we have a very special guest, Novera, with us today to talk about some zombies. So,
Ooh.
Wilbo, why don't you go ahead and ask him the traditional questions that we ask every single episode?
All right, so of course, we just have these traditional questions that we always like to ask, and I'm just going to run you through the questions, and you can answer them time by time whenever you want. And so the questions are favorite map this is in all of zombies, not just Black Ops 3 because there's only two, but
Ooh.
in all of zombies, you have favorite map, favorite gun, which is just like a normal kind of gun, favorite wonder weapon, favorite perk, and favorite gobble gum because it is Black Ops 3 and we do have gobble gums. So
Wow,
whenever
you're
you're
really
ready,
just throwing it down
Just-
it's like pick it now. That's crazy. Just one of them is pretty debatable. I mean, all right. So starting out with the map, Black Ops 2, it's hard to say because each game had its own kind of like fun set to it. Like obviously in World at War, I played Darius hours on end when it came out, and that was my favorite thing. And then after a while, it kind of runs you down, and you're like, maybe it's not as great. You don't get that nostalgic feeling that you had when you first started playing it. So Darius was like amazing. I loved it. And when the Black Ops Zombies maps came out, I think my favorite Black Ops 1 map was either Ascension or Moon. And I know Moon got a lot of criticism, but I really did like Moon, though. I found it really fun. And then Black Ops 2 is probably my favorite zombies overall. And the reason I really like Black Ops Black Ops 2 zombies is because that's when I really started posting videos and stuff like that. And it was kind of like when this community, because there was a community for zombies before Black Ops 2, but it really didn't take off until that game came out. And people actually started growing in their channels, and all my friends are like hitting 1 million subscribers now, and it's crazy to look at because this community that I've been in for years now have like grown so amazing. But I mean, maps itself, though, I think my favorite map of all time has to be Mob of the Dead. I love that map so much for some reason. And it's crazy though, because my favorite characters are the Origins crew, obviously, or well, actually technically not the Origins crew, it's the older versions of themselves.
Yeah.
I like Crazy Richtofen, and I think that's so much better than the newer Richtofen. But I like the Mob of the Dead. I mean, personally, the Hell's Retriever was probably the coolest weapon that you could get. I love the Blundergat. Wasn't that like, I know, I think there was buildables before, but I mean, Mob of the Dead was like one of the first that actually had like good buildables. I really like the shield in it. I believe it was the shield in other maps.
I
don't
it was
remember.
in transit originally.
yeah, transit.
Yeah, but I mean, I hated Transit. So it was the first map that actually incorporated good stuff. I love the Easter eggs to it. The Warden was like the big new boss, crazy stuff. And I mean, other than that, though, there haven't been like a boss like that I've seen in other maps. I mean, I guess the Moon had like your friend, the astronaut, right? But I mean, Brutus was so badass, and the color theme to it, and the devil and all that. That was crazy. The Spork. Good Easter eggs, good everything. So first answer, Mob of the Dead, definitely favorite map.
That's
what
my
was the next
favorite
question?
map
My
as
favorite
well.
gun?
Yeah, gun, just like regular gun and then wonder weapon.
Ooh. Okay, favorite gun. Okay, so there's 3 guns that I really like, and all right. Well, so for Black Ops 3, I like the Dingo a lot, and I like the Draken, but I only like the Draken on the Giant because of that easy camping spot. In Black Ops 2, I really liked what was that gun called? I'm thinking of the Commando in Black Ops 1. I really like the Commando and the AK. That's a tie there. And in Black Ops 2, I think I like the AK-47. I think I don't know why, but I really do like the assault rifles. I mean, that's always been my favorite. So
It's really good on
I mean,
Mob.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, I'll probably go with AK-47, even though it's a very exclusive gun as well. There hasn't really been. I mean, there's been like the what was it? I'm trying to think of that gun on Die Rise, like
The A94.
A94.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm trying.
Yeah.
I was trying to say KN-44, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
it's Black Ops 3. Always reskin the name.
It's basically the same
that
thing.
gun. What was they had a name? They had a different name for that in the beta, though. I'm trying to think of it
It was
now,
the
but they actually
Arc 7, wasn't it?
Arcade
yeah, the
7,
Arc 7. There you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird though. I'm not sure why they completely changed the name, but that threw me off because I've seen a lot of people talk and people who only played the beta who talk about Black Ops 3, they'll be like, yeah, the Arc 7 was my favorite gun. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's no Arc 7. They're like, yeah, there was. Like, it's, the AK-47. I was like, nah. So, and then finally I Google it and it'll be like KN-44. But yeah, definitely AK favorite gun overall, just because that gun was absolutely beast. Okay, favorite wonder weapon. Ooh, okay. We're gonna have to break this down. All right, let's see. So I liked the Thunder Gun a lot. That was good, but definitely not number one. I liked the original Wonderwaffe is definitely top three because it's the first gun. It was the gun to have. Like if you didn't have it, you were the loser of the group. Like if you get it, everyone would be like, "Oh, dude, I'm so jealous." You're that guy who gets it. That's so awesome. And that was the best feeling is getting on the Darius and then just getting it and you're like, yeah, and everyone's like, oh no, like go down, die, and then I want the gun. So I loved that feeling a lot. I'm trying to think of some other guns here. Let's see. In Black Ops 2, all the other most Black Ops 2 wonder weapons were really bad. I wasn't a big fan of the Sliquifier. The jet gun was absolutely garbage. I liked the Blundergat a lot though. And I like the idea of upgrading the Blundergat was finding the pieces, putting it together. And then especially though, mixing the Blundergat with the Hell's Retriever was the best combination you could get because you just run in the cafeteria and get to around like 60 really quickly.
Yeah, turn on the acid.
Do we count the staffs?
Yeah, those are counted as wonder weapons because they are on one map, which is Origins, so they do count of. If it's a buildable.
Is it like an individual? Like, is it an individual wonder weapon, like the fire staff, or can I say the staffs? Because I think the staffs overall are really good. But,
yeah, you can say the staffs if you want.
I mean, I want to say that now, but I don't know, man. All right, I'm probably just gonna have to go with the DG2 Wonderwaffe. Definitely, it's just when it came out, man, and that feeling of having it. But with Black Ops 3, it completely ruined it. It was like a trophy on the wall, and then like literally you could see Mark Lamia just pull down his pants and literally just take a huge steamy dump all over it. Like I was like no. When I got it, I was like, yes, dude, I got the Wonderwaffe. And I remember because I got the game like 2 days early, and I was playing with my friend Fantastical, and he was just like, dude, like that's awesome, like the Wonderwaffe. And I was like, yeah, dude. And I started using it. I'm like, Sam, this gun isn't as good as I remember it, and it was killing like one zombie at a time. I was like, dude, this is literally a sniper rifle. Like it kills one zombie. I was like, this is so garbage. And then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just done with this game.
Yeah, it was really bad on launch.
Oh, yeah.
So disappointed. I was like, so that's why I was kind of edgy. But OG Wonderwaffe, hands down, probably one of the better of the guns. I'm thinking of the wave gun now, and I really like the wave gun. A lot of people hated the wave gun, but I thought it was pretty cool how you could like detach and you could have dual wave guns. I think that was awesome. So
Yeah.
definitely Wonderwaffe though, and then wave gun and thunder gun are a close second and third.
Oh, right.
And then last is gumballs, right?
Perk and then gumballs.
Well,
so just
perk
like a simple
besides
perk
Jug, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, besides Jug? Okay, I mean, obviously it was Jug, but I mean, I think that I'm really trying to think of like, I know for a fact I hated Vulture's Aid and Buried. I didn't really like it. In Origins, there wasn't a new perk in Origins, was there? I mean, they brought back PhD and Electric Cherry, but no, there was no new perk in Origins, which
No,
is
there was none.
And I do hope that there's one in EISENDRACHE or Drache or whatever.
However the hell you say it.
The Iron Dragon.
Dude. All right, quick side note because this needs to be discussed. Okay, I've made in my streams I've called out people for it, but I mean, have you seen some people are getting so overwhelmed with this German accent that they need to pronounce it correctly? Have you seen people be like the Eisendrache? I'm like, what is this person doing right now? I mean, like, let's think about it. Like, that's how you pronounce it in German, sure, but I mean, I think for the average English person, you shouldn't go out of your way to look like you've been, like kicked in the head by a horse. Dreisendrach, is the extra really like beyond gonna like tear like or like torture a German? I don't think so. I think that people should just call it, whatever they're comfortable with, because once again, like I've seen some YouTubers who put it explicitly have gagged on wieners trying to pronounce the name, and it's ridiculous though. Like it's like, what is this guy trying to say here?
So, yeah, like, the past few videos I've just played the part from the trailer where where Dempsey says to Eisendrache, like instead of me saying it.
When Tank Dempsey said it though in the recent trailer though, he's like, "Yeah, we're going to EISENDRACHE." I mean, I think that's like a little bit simpler. I mean, the way you pronounce it in English though is different than the way you pronounce it in German, obviously. But I think eventually it's gonna catch on. And everyone's just gonna start calling it Dreisendrache or Dreisendrache. Those are the two main options. I call it Dreisendrache because that's how you pronounce it in English.
Yeah,
But
same
obviously, a
here.
lot of you're gonna see German viewers take a lot of offense to it, and then
Oh yes.
obviously there's gonna be like the Glitching Queen fanboys who are like, "You're pronouncing it wrong. Like you're not pronouncing it right.
Well,
You should go
another
with
thing
me."
is like Germans can barely watch like any of the videos anyways, so it's
Yeah,
not
they're
that
like
big of a
fat.
deal.
I have seen a lot of like I mean because the main I mean at least for me and it might be different for every other YouTuber but I've seen for my analytics it shows that my main three languages and countries that I get views from are the United States, the United Kingdom, and Germany, and I've seen a lot of people get
Really?
Brazil. I've seen yeah it's really weird,
I
and so I've seen Brazil, I've seen Spain, and
Australia.
Mexico. Oh, I mean, sorry, Germany is fourth, Canada's third. I don't know why I just drew a blank on Canada for a second. So it's U.S., U.K., and then Canada, which I'm not really sure why,
Yeah,
but I
mine
mean
is
that's
US, UK, Canada, and then Australia. And then it goes into like Brazil and like other countries. It's weird.
You know,
I don't have Australia. I don't know. Australia is actually pretty far on the list. I think it's like 7 or 8. I mean, I actually, believe it or not, I have New Zealand above Australia, which is
oh
crazy.
wow.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really weird, man. But it's still, I mean, I guess like multicultural. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
multicultural.
for the most part, though, I don't really see like New Zealand is, obviously they don't speak English there, so I don't know if like obviously they have English classes in school, but I mean like I've had Spanish classes and I could barely, like I could almost understand what people at Burger King are saying, which I
Wait,
mean I guess
so
it's a bit racist, but like I like. I mean, I've been sworn at so many times by vegan. Like, I finally learned out what puta means, and some people are very rude at Burger King. Okay, so
anyway, I think it's time to jump into a few topics because
oh
I
yeah,
just
for sure, for sure.
like
Too
I
many
think
side notes. Too
yeah,
many side notes.
Greg's got a lot of topics to talk about today, so I think he's just gonna jump into them right now, which would be pretty nice. What do you think,
All
Greg?
right. So obviously there's a crap ton of stuff we saw in the trailer, which is obviously really good. I want to know if you have like a theory for where the teleporter goes, because we saw the
Yeah,
teleporter in the trailer.
and there was only one that was shown,
Without
wasn't
giving
it?
it away, because I'm assuming you might know already.
I don't. I can confirm to you. I don't know where the teleporter goes, but I can confirm to you right now. If you've seen all those theory videos about the town being a playable area, I can confirm to you that the town is not a confirmable like a playable area.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
Okay.
which kind of like upsets me though, because I wish that it was like being able to, because we had like the whole Nikolai House Easter egg with that the campaign mode or whatever. So I was half expecting to be able to go into like Nikolai's house or do
Mhm.
something like that, but I mean unfortunately not. But
Well, they did say it was one and a
kind
half times the size of Doris.
yeah, the giant.
Or the
So
giant. Yeah.
obviously,
So.
obviously it wasn't gonna be that big, which obviously I was like, all right,
It
that's not
seems
bad.
like a really good, like standard size, like Black Ops One Ascension size or so.
Yeah, when it comes to the point though, I mean, think about it like realistically. I mean, like Shadows of Evil isn't much bigger than the Giant. It's probably twice the size of the Giant because
Yeah.
I mean, you got the areas and whatnot, but like when you actually think about it, the districts really aren't that big. Like they're not like this huge area. Like think about Moon though. Like Moon was huge. Like, I mean, you had like the Biodome, which is crazy big itself. I mean, the Biodome is probably half the Giant, anyways. And then you had like the starting room, and then you had the space outside, and you had the drilling areas, and then you had like crazy like I mean like the little subcategories where you can go either pick up the suit or the hacker. I mean Moon was huge, and like honestly like I think Moon was good because it was really big. But when it gets too big though, that's when it comes to the point where people are gonna start getting lost, or there's gonna be too much, and everyone are just gonna be like, this is too big, too much. I don't want to have to memorize all this and whatnot.
Yeah.
So did you think Origins was like the max for size?
Like the perfect.
I think
kind of-
Origins was a really good. See, it's all about like travel though. You need to be able to get from one side of the map to another, just in case like your friend gets down or something like that. You should always have enough time to get to your friend if he's down on the other side of the map. And by Origins adding in the tank, it kind of made like travel a lot faster because obviously the mud slowed you down so
yeah,
much.
the mud. You needed to like stamina up and stuff for that.
Yeah, and you just gotta
Exactly.
keep
So
jumping.
it's like if you had the travel like in Die Rise was I mean it was like running wise, it wasn't so big, because you had like room to room, not a lot of space. But when you actually look, step back and look at it, like it was 3 stories, like at least 20 different areas that you could run into. And then, coming down from like the trample themes where you could literally jump from skyscraper to skyscraper. I mean, that was pretty crazy though, because the travel was really quickly, but it was all based upon like, where you angle the trample steam and like if you could jump down onto a mattress or not or something like that. So,
Hmm.
um,
Okay, so
but
let's backtrack
yeah.
a little bit because we're going crazy off topic. Although it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
I could talk for hours.
Yeah. So, do you have any theories of where the teleporter might go?
Yeah. Is it gonna play a big part?
Uh, to be quite honest, I'm not sure.
I
I've
can.
seen a
I mean,
lot,
I
but
can tell you
I
my
have,
theory and then see.
yeah. You go ahead and tell
So,
you.
so
Yeah,
like
you
on
want.
the giant, obviously we have the characters talking about a lot of different things, and
Hmm.
one of them is when Tank Dempsey says like the Pack-a-Punch was in Brazil, France, and the
Oh
moon.
yeah, for sure. And on the moon, yeah. And then
Yeah, so
obviously the pack punch was never
I
on the moon.
think that it I don't I don't really know because of the rockets, and I already made like a theory about the rockets possibly destroying the moon because Samantha could
Yep.
still be traveling there because it like resets the story kind of. Originally she falls into the MPD in the original storyline, but maybe she hasn't fallen in yet. And
Yeah.
then there's also the thing like, okay, apparently the EISENDRACHE is the end of the Origins crew as well, which is like
Wait,
crazy.
where did you see that though? Where's the end of the Origins crew? I haven't
Well,
heard anything about that.
there's I don't know, like there's a lot of people saying it, like Johnny J and stuff have been saying it. I don't.
Oh, okay.
I think
I
Mr.
haven't watched any
Waffles might
videos
have
on it,
said it
but
too, but yeah, I mean, it could be they could be totally wrong, and I would not be surprised either. But I do think that I think you go to the moon to pack a punch, possibly.
I mean, it's probably a huge possibility that you can. The moon has a very large part. I mean, obviously, you could infer like without even like inside information or whatever. You could tell straight up that the moon has a huge. I mean, Call of Duty New Zealand, right? That's the Twitter account that tweeted out
Yeah,
Yeah.
saying it's
Yeah.
Griffin Castle. I
yeah,
created a theory video on my channel, and it was actually today that I posted it. And essentially, my theory was that Griffin Castle is how the moon contacts the Earth. Griffin Castle, Griffin Station. Obviously they're meant for one another. And I mean, you could see in the main room, with all the big green orbs and stuff like that. I think those were meant to
that's
be like
true.
computer screens, and you could see radar and stuff like that. Those are obviously communication devices. I believe that there are people up on the moon right now, and a lot of the main Easter egg is going to be communicating with them. And obviously we have the rocket. So getting back to your theory about blowing up the moon, it's a huge possibility that's what they're going to try to do. But instead of trying to blow up Samantha or something like that, obviously what happens in the original storyline is that they blow up the Earth. So what's been happening lately is obviously Rick Toffin and the original Origins crew, they're trying to go and prevent everything that happened in the previous storyline. So instead of trying to blow up Samantha, they're actually just trying to blow up the moon and get rid of Griffin Station. Yeah,
Yeah.
Griffin Station, so that the Earth can't be blown up, and then therefore they'll save the universe or save the world or save the children, whatever they're trying to save or
Yeah.
whatever.
Save someone.
Yeah.
They're trying to save something, but
Yeah,
it's not really
that's
working out
actually
for
a
them
really
so
good
far.
theory. And if you know like the huge green thing that's like was on the original like Awakening trailer,
Yeah,
if you zoom in on it, it's
it was
actually
the moon
it's the
blueprints.
top
Yeah,
overview of the moon,
Yeah. I saw.
yeah.
I saw.
which is
I
crazy.
can't remember whose video it was.
Dave
I
the
think it
Rave.
was. Yeah, it was Dave the Raves.
No, it was Rat Austin rather.
Yeah. Rad Austin. It
I've
was like
seen, yeah.
it was
Bree
on.
did it. KL Silencer, OG X-Rays. I saw a lot of big names do it. I was gonna make a video on it, but once you get late to the party, I'm not really one to post a video
Oh
that's so
yeah.
late. So I was like, But yeah, I saw it. It was pretty awesome.
So
It's
like
really smart though, because they hide really tiny stuff, and if you don't break it down frame by
yeah.
frame, you're gonna miss it.
See, that's the thing with like what I've been seeing all over YouTube is like theory videos, and the thing with theory videos is what some people do not understand is like it's a theory. It's like there could be a chance that this could be real. Like something I'd like to just touch on for like a brief moment because it's not a big thing that's gonna might play a part. But what I think, if you remember from the Dreisendrach what was it? It was the actual trailer that was released a few days ago, and
Wait, the new one or the old one? The one that was released like a month ago, or the one
the,
that just came out?
The
the one that
newest.
just came out, and everyone like
Okay.
made videos about it. And
Yep.
if you remember because the Panzer's coming back in Der Eisendrache, and if you remember from the
Mhm.
Origins, if you would kill the Panzer, you would get the fire staff part. So what I'm
Mhm.
thinking is with that, you see you see that bow and arrow fire weapon buildable, what people are calling it.
Yep.
Maybe that could play a big part in that certain weapon. We never know. That's the only theory I'm strongly suggesting about that I feel like this could actually be a thing.
I'd have to disagree with you,
Yeah?
and
Just because you already
I'll
know.
give you my theory. I'll
Because he
give you my
knows.
theory right now. So if you didn't see my video, which I saw, I think I saw a couple other people post on it. On the bow, there was an apothecon symbol, and if you actually brought that into the chart that they made, it said feed. Obviously, what are you feeding in the map?
The
There's four
dragons.
locations of dragons. Dragons.
I did
That's my
not think of
theory.
that. That is a good.
Yeah.
That is actually pretty
Yeah.
good. That
Yeah.
just throws my theory
And
for a
once
curve.
again, I can't be confirming anything, but I'll just say right now it's a pretty reliable theory, and I look forward to testing it when Der Eisendrache comes out. So
Yeah, I did not know there was an apothecon symbol on the actual bow.
Yeah.
yeah, I made my theory, right, and I was like, how to
Yes.
get the bow. I put theory and everything. Obviously, I haven't played it, so I can't confirm it. So I said theory, and see, and I guess I mean I know you guys have your preset topics, but I want to bring my own topic in here, and let's talk about
We don't have
the
preset
drama.
topics.
We
We're
we don't have
pretending we
preset
do.
ones.
We don't.
Awesome. Okay, so let's talk about the whole misleading clickbait
Yeah,
issue.
like the video you
If
made
you've seen
and
the
Lex
drama.
made. Yeah. Yeah.
So I made a video talking about it, giving my opinion on it, shedding some light, and I'll give my opinion later on too. But before I want to get back to my original point talking about my video. A lot of people were like, this is clickbait, this is misleading. Obviously, you haven't played it. And like if I didn't put the word theory in the title, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have been so this is clickbait or whatever, because you put this word after this word and we could only see this word, and so let's break it down even farther. So for people who haven't really seen the whole Mr. T Lexify, the gaming revolution, etc. issue, essentially what happened was Mr. T Lexify made a video calling out all theory videos and saying, all theories, I mean, 95% of them don't come true. It's a load of crap. People and, the good old days of YouTube actually had integrity and backed up facts. And to an extent, he has a very good point. Some of these guys are posting, fifth DLC confirmed and fourth portal and Shadows View. I mean, did you guys see this idiot making videos on Frankenstein?
Yeah.
Come on, there's no Frankenstein. Obviously, there's no Frank. I mean, storyline wise, maybe there could have been, but you got to think about this. Treyarch is a game company, right? They have to own rights to something. Frankenstein is an actual brand. It is literally a copyrighted movie. You cannot take a copyrighted movie and put it into a game. They would get sued so quickly. Activision would never publish that DLC. So you got to step back and look at it. They're like, dead body over there. That must mean Frankenstein, resurrection. I've seen lots of good stuff. And it's like, dude, come on. Like, are you kidding me? And for some people, like obviously it looked like it. So I could get it. I can get why they get to that point. But when you actually step back and look at it, this is a game publishing company, and they cannot take copyright material and put it into their game. They would get sued like that, and it's like, but like I said, I get where they're coming from. They were right on one part. They did have a playable boss, or I guess it's not a playable boss, but it is a boss, which is the Panzer. And I want to talk about this really quickly because I was gonna make a video on this. I don't think I will, but I did want to discuss it. Is that they actually have an emblem on Black Ops 3 that has the Panzer, which is a direct screenshot from the trailer, and they put it as an emblem, and it's been in the game for months now. And someone on Reddit noticed it, and they put it out, and I was like, dude, that's absolutely crazy. So I was like, what? And,
Yeah.
so that's something crazy. But getting back to my original point, though, I'm totally off topic. So essentially, he made a video calling out all theory YouTubers, and obviously, like I said, some were definitely justified to call him out. Crazy, stupid stuff. People just clickbaiting. If you can make a video on something, like let's say I plain DLC confirmed question mark and it's the mod that had plain. Like obviously that's not gonna come true. You shouldn't be making videos like that. But when subscribers see it, they're like plain DLC, and then they go click on the video. I mean it's a huge issue in GTA. I don't know if you've seen some of these GTA like Lispy Jimmy, Fernando,
Oh
who are
yeah.
making DLC released, and then at the very end of the title, hype live stream or something like that, where it's like they're
Yeah.
hyping up the deal.
Man.
Come on, bro, get out of here. But so I mean, Lex, I'm glad he said something, but then you kind of step back and you look at all the other theory YouTubers, which I don't classify myself as a theory YouTuber. I like to post whatever I like to post.
Hmm.
Some days I like to post theories, other days I like to post tutorials, other days I like to just stream. But what he did in the video is he said, look at these streamers, go flag their videos, go dislike them as much as you can, and you got all the hundreds of thousands of people who are now going and they hating on every single theory YouTuber, and that's where he was completely wrong, because Rad Austin 27, OG X-Rays, where they actually have evidence-backed theories that are very plausible in the the DLC world, and now they're getting unnecessary hate because of this undirect message towards them. And he called out a couple different people in particular and really pinpointed them. He even showed their thumbnail and their name in the video. And those people who actually were like abusing their subscribers and stuff like that, I'm glad that they're getting like a wake-up call, that people notice and see their videos and are upset about their videos. But like, once again, my video, I mean, it was a very well thought out theory, and people were hating on it, and I got it was like 30 dislikes. People were like, this is clickbait, Novera, you haven't played the map. But when like, look about it, like, feed on the Apothecon bow. I mean, there's dogs that you have to feed in the map. Come on, 2 and 2 together, it's basic stuff. So I was like, okay, I mean, what are you guys' thoughts on it?
That's what I think. I like, now that you've told me, like, because people think, because people make videos, that they're all fake. I mean, they're not fake. It's just, I mean, if you've well thought it out, like you just told me that a good theory or something that ties in very strongly with the Apothecon bow, what we're going to call it, and the dragons, I should say. That's a really strong theory. If you're just coming out saying like, ooh, fifth portal, Shadows of Evil, or like, second wonder weapon gameplay, and they show like just a pack-a-punch version of the Apothecon servant, from before the patch,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
those sides of theories or videos, they're not right. The ones that you like, a good example is your ones, like where you're basing the facts, a little bit of facts here and there. You're showing this certain thing that could potentially tie in with this. So people just don't understand. They just think if you see the word theory, they gotta click on it, and they gotta go, nah, gotta dislike this. So the thing with theory videos is people really have to understand. Like, personally, I'm not a big theory guy. I love watching the theory videos. Like, people go into detail, but I personally can't do it myself because of just the kind of person I am. I can't go into like detail and stuff like that. But if someone can do it and base up some facts, that is what you gotta have.
yeah,
Like,
that's totally true. Like, so many people, that's like a huge market for views, and it's kind of unfortunate that it did get kind of manipulated a little bit, but at the same time there still are those genuine YouTubers making really good videos with facts. Like, I made a Panzer returning to Drazendrach video before we even knew about it, just because it was large.
It was the leak coding, right? Yeah, you saw that.
I knew about that as well.
And...
Yeah, but like also because Jason Blundell said that there was large deposits of element 115, and Richtofen was the one who designed the Panzer Soldat, and that's why it was on Origins, because there was also large deposits of element 115 on Origins. And also we have the bleeding of Origins into Drazendrach with the huge giant on the side, the Wonder Fizz, like all this different stuff. So I tied all that in, and like it was a really good video, and I'm happy that it didn't get like hated at all. But like, people just need to realize, like, they need to, it's really unfortunate, man. Like, it is so sad to see this. Like, when the most recent trailer came out, the Replacers one, yesterday, I made a video that the dogs were returning, like the Hellhounds were returning on Drazendrach. Literally a 2-minute video just saying, hey guys, this was in the trailer, so on and so forth. I got comments on my video, nice clickbait video. It's
Yeah, I
like,
saw
dude,
that.
there is freaking.
Exactly.
I'm
It's just
showing you gameplay. Are you retarded? Like, come
it's
on.
the undirectness of that, and I wish he would clear it up and be like, don't be hating on all theory videos. It's just some, because I mean, there, like I said, there are people who abuse it, but at the same time, though, I mean, the average viewer of Call of Duty is in between 11 to 16, and they're not at that full intellectual mindset. I mean, for a better word, they're not. They're a little bit, below where they're like, okay, I'll just do whatever this person says, and then they go ahead and dislike this, clickbait that, and I mean, it's literally like 2 and 2. It's so easy. You got perfect video, and then clickbait. It's clickbait this, clickbait that, and there's nothing clickbait about it. But just because someone told them to do it, and there wasn't like a direct thing, like. Like I said, he called out specific YouTubers, showed the thumbnail and everything like that. But obviously, he said, go dislike flag these videos. He shouldn't have been like that. He should have talked about it. Been like, look, this is how like this is upsetting me. Obviously, like videos like this are undespicable. No one should make videos like that. But he should have easily cleared it up and just been like, not all YouTubers are like this. I've seen a lot of good theory videos, and then he should have listed some good theory videos, because
Yeah.
having the bad and not the good is going to make it so everyone only sees the bad, and that's the predicament that every zombie YouTuber is in.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
thing that I don't think Lex noticed was he doesn't like how the viewers are being manipulated into liking these theories and stuff, but at the same time, he kind of manipulated his viewers to go dislike the video. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
double-edged sword, I would say. I mean, there's pros and cons to it, and like, unfortunately, I'm kind of like in the pub stomping community, or I was in Advanced Warfare, and I've
Yep.
kind of like I've done zombies the whole time, but now obviously Black Ops 3 is way more in depth and everything. But like, I was there when like the clickbait really started. The
Yeah.
unlimited supply drops glitch and like all this stuff, and it was like complete bullcrap. And like, unfortunately, it's just traveling across the spectrum now to all the different sections of YouTube,
Yeah.
and it really sucks, especially in gaming. I mean, other videos aren't as bad, but just gaming in general, man, like, people need to realize what's legit and what's not legit, and it's really frustrating for all content creators, because you always have to think about first, okay, is someone going to say that this video is misleading? Like, it's just frustrating, you know.
And it has like a snowball effect to it too, because if, like, let's say like a misleading YouTuber has like 1,000 likes and one dislike, obviously, I mean, like, the average subscriber is gonna be like, okay, no one else thinks it's misleading, so I'm not gonna say it's misleading. But let's say you have 30 likes and 30 dislikes, that person's gonna be like, okay, other people agree with me, even if it's the same exact video, same exact everything. Obviously gonna be like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna throw another dislike on there, even though it wasn't even misleading or something like that. Let's say it wasn't misleading, but there was still dislikes because there was like an indirect hate or something like that. That's why I had a problem with it. I didn't really like or appreciate it, because I put hours upon hours into my work and stuff like that, and then to have it shut down so quickly by like an absent-minded 12-year-old following orders is like, really, dude? Like, because I mean, it becomes like a professional approach, though, where I work really hard on these videos, and I'll so many evidence, everything like that, and then it's a snowball effect of a bunch of random people who didn't even watch the video, just saw the title and said, clickbait this, clickbait that, and then obviously other people are gonna be like, oh yeah, it is too, and then it's like, really, like, I just put all this work into it, you wouldn't even take the time to look at the video, you'll just leave hate, and that's what I don't like or don't appreciate.
Yeah, like,
So.
the great thing is, though, is having the fans that realize it, because like I said, that guy commented clickbait video. I had like 3 of my subscribers like defending me. Like, I love that. Like,
Yeah.
that's so much better than like even you replying to them. Like, when you have other people that watch your videos and they're like, "Are you stupid? Like, he just said like all these things. Like, you obviously didn't watch the video." And that's like the best, in my opinion. I love that.
Oh yeah, I love that. When I stream, I get the occasional like troll who comes in like, "Novera, you suck," and then I'll have like 50 viewers or something like that, and the entire stream will literally just just destroy this guy.
Roast him, yeah.
I had this one time. It was like this, like it was like a 13-year-old kid, and he had his avatar of himself, dude, and everyone was just roasting the kid in the chat for coming in and dropping unnecessary hate, and it was like the funniest thing ever, because like I literally didn't even mention it, and I look in the chat, dude, everyone is roasting this kid. He's like, you're obviously 12, like get out of the video or something like that, and I don't mind if someone's underage. Like I have tons of underage viewers. I mean, like when I started out on YouTube, I was what 12 13 years old back in the whenever, and I mean it was very hard for me to become successful on YouTube, because obviously no one takes you serious when you're a teenager or a kid or whatever. So
Yeah.
I feel the discrimination that they had, and I know exactly how it felt, so I try not to have the same discrimination. But at the same time, they're like, some of these kids, they don't know what they're talking about. They need to learn these life lessons that you can't just drop hate where you want, and you have to watch what you say, and obviously pay the consequences when you do make a mistake or something like that. Because I feel like a lot of kids these days are getting babied, and I'm trying to find the best word for it. I would say shielded from the actual real world, and then it's a real wake-up call when people are actually rude and they're real terrible and stuff like that. That's a true person, and obviously they don't want the kids to see it, because it's terrible, but that's the real world. That's how it is. And I mean, getting babied into it is just going to make it harder for them when they grow up. So, but I mean, getting back to Call of Duty though, because that's way off task. Let's get into our next topic before we get become way too off task.
So I want to know, like, what in your opinion was the coolest part of the trailer for you?
Bow.
specifically?
Bow. Not even. Well, actually, I got to think about that, because see, here's the thing: the gravity spikes look awesome.
Yeah, they have
spikes,
have liquid divinium in them. Did you notice
but
that?
if they repeat, that looked pretty cool. But if they repeat like how they are in multiplayer, I'm not a big fan of the gravity spikes in multiplayer. Such a pain to use. They're not really that good. It's an awesome idea, but effectiveness of the gravity spikes are very much on the lacking side, and that's why I'm kind of like, I don't know if I will be using those, and I'll probably end up. I feel like we're probably gonna have some sort of like choice whether we have to use the bow or the gravity spikes, and that's my theory on it, is that we there's a couple different specialist weapons. Maybe there's one that we didn't even see. I'm not sure about that either. If there are another special, I feel like that'd probably be in the trailer. About whether we could choose either just those two, or if there's probably going to be more, like a flamethrower or like the minigun, and maybe that's it though. Is maybe the specialist? You know how we have the what is it, this scythe scepter or whatever? Do you know what I'm talking about in multiplayer? The specialist class that grows like a minigun on its arm.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
Yeah, the scythe.
What is it?
I think.
The scythe. There you go.
Yeah.
So maybe
Well,
that might
I think it's just gonna be,
because we did have the death machine.
I think it's just going to be how the Annihilator is on the Giant. Like, it's going to take, like, for the bow at least, like, you have to obviously charge it before you can use it. I think there's a possibility, though, that you could have multiple. Maybe there's another Easter egg you have to do for the gravity spikes. Or, like a lot of people are saying, like, you might know already, but, like, when you launch the rockets, a lot of people are saying, like, there's going to be something that you can get once you launch the rockets. Kind of like on Ascension, you had to launch the rocket before you could pack a punch. There may be something tying in there, or maybe you get the gravity spikes once you do that, or you get a part for it, or, like, that sort of thing. So I think that there's a possibility that you could have multiple at the same time, but it's kind of up for discussion. Like, I want to know, do you think the death machine is going to be a power-up, or do you think it's going to be an actual weapon like it was on
like
All
a
of the
box
Dead?
weapon kind of thing?
I can't say. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
if anything, you gotta once again step back. So there's like about 4 different ways that they could incorporate the death machine, right? So there's the normal power up that we had in Ascension. We had the box in Black Ops 2, which I find very unlikely, though. I don't think that they're going to be adding any weapons to the box, but I'm not quite sure on that either. So it's the box, power up.
Gobble
People
gum.
seem to forget the new, that's what I was going to say, the new gobble gums. I'd be, bankrolling on something around that category. But then we also have, buildables. Once again, I don't think it'd be a buildable, though. But it quite possibly could be a buildable. It could be a viable wall weapon. It could be like a turret type thing where you could pick it up and you could use it for 30 seconds. But for sure, not entirely sure. For sure, not entirely sure. I mean,
Yeah, like
whatever.
personally, I don't think it would be a buildable just because of what it looks like. It's just a simple, like a
Yeah.
Gatling gun.
a simple Gatling gun. Like they really just reminded me of of Mob of the Dead, but there was no pack-a-punch gameplay of that gun because you see Dempsey in two clips. He comes in with it in
Yep.
that first trailer, and then he comes in with the recently we just got that little snippet for the
Hmm.
and he comes in with it again, but it has not been pack-a-punch. So I'm thinking, is it a box weapon or maybe it's just an OP weapon? You don't need a pack-a-punch. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I know now, but anyways, I mean, there's so much stuff in the trailer. I really am looking forward to the Call of the Dead type fling thing that flings you across the map to get to the other side. I love
Oh, yeah,
that.
absolutely.
And Call of the
Yeah,
Dead was
that looks beast.
awesome. So, it looks really really cool. I think this
For
map's
sure.
gonna be, from what I've seen from the trailer, it seems a lot like it's like a Mob of the Dead type map as far as like size and different like layers. Because if you think about it, like you basically launching from the dock up to the second level there be pretty much the same distance, I guess. I don't know.
So,
I,
what's your take on the Wonder Weapon, though? What do you guys think about that? Have you guys like got your own theory on it? Any like sort of idea on
like
what?
what I
There
think
is-
is
The
gonna be a
bow
Wonder
isn't the
Weapon,
bow
or
isn't the Wonder Weapon. Yeah, because the bow is just the build. Well, it's not a buildable, but if we go back and look at my theory for the whole feeding the dragons type thing, if that's like that, then that's most likely gonna be the sword, the Hell's Retriever of the map.
I think there's gonna be a
So
flamethrower. I mean, that's been floating around a
you think
lot.
flamethrower?
There's a
Like,
possibility.
I've seen the flame. Well, because there was the leak coding of that, but when you actually look at it now, it's actually the Panzer, and that's what the whole flamethrower coding was.
Yeah, true,
Because
true.
if you see it, he doesn't have the claw anymore. The Panzer doesn't have the claw. He has the machine gun and the flamethrower. So it's going to be a little bit different from the Panzer that we saw in Origin.
Which is
because
fine with me
it's a
because I
different.
freaking hated the claw.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, especially all
claw
those
was
times that you
terrible.
would get. I've gotten
Uh,
stuck in so many walls, and they'll drag you back into a horizontal. I hated that, but I mean, getting back to the thing though, is that I don't think it's going to be a flamethrower, but if Treyarch continues its new tradition, that means that we're going to have a buildable wonder weapon because we've had the Sliquifier, we've had the staffs, we've had obviously the Apothecary Servant, we've had the jet gun, so it's going to be a buildable weapon. But we have to look at the map's theme and really break it down on what we're going to be having. So obviously in Shadows Vivo, it was like an octopusy monster theme, monster theme, monster theme
Cthulhu.
map, right? So we're gonna have a monster theme wonder weapon. So we're going to like a German station castle type thing. So my theory is that we're gonna have some sort of German themed weapon. If we take a look at the Wonder Wap, we take a look at the Scavenger, those types of guns. That's what I think the Wonder Weapons is gonna be more like. Obviously I think it's gonna be one of those types of guns rather than the obviously like the let's say the Sliquifier, which is like I'm looking back at the Sliquifier though, like it was like a can, and like the building the Sliquifier was the weirdest thing ever because it was honestly like the weirdest parts, like literally duct taped together, and you got like this crazy, glue spitting gum, acid eating. It was crazy, and obviously, and then we have like the Apothecary Servant where we're literally taking like a monster's heart, and then we're taking what was it? Yeah, like the tentacle thing, and then we had the obviously the ammo for it, which was the I'm trying to think of the name now.
Xenomatter.
Xenomatter. There,
Yeah.
literally. So I'm wondering, like, we're getting these buildables like that. So obviously we're gonna have some sort of buildable like that. But I'm wondering if it's gonna be like a very, scrappy gun, like taking random parts and then making this huge gun, or if it's actually gonna be like find the barrel of the gun, find the body of the gun.
Yeah. That's what I want. That is seriously like, all right. I'm just gonna like think for a second. Like, Dire Eyes personally was one of my favorite maps because of the part locations. Because it's not round based parts, so it's not like 5 rounds you get the Xenomatter. Another 5 rounds you get the
Yeah, you could just find them.
you can go around the map. You can have this weapon by whatever round you want. I just want EISENDRACHE to have that kind of thing where you don't actually have to wait around, because if you think of the Giant, it didn't have any buildables, but it was so like the simplistic level was just so good that you could get into a game, do what you want to do, have a little bit of fun, and then get out. With Shadows of Evil, it was like get into a game, build this, build that, do this, do that. It was all about setting up.
It, it's a setup. Yep, I hate
It's
that.
it
I think that's
is
the biggest part about it is just setting up, and
I'm
that's so
pretty
annoying.
sure. I'm pretty sure everybody that went to track was like, get rid of this shit. Like
It
we
was
don't. We
like
don't. We don't want
What's
this.
really scary though is the whole rituals are coming back, so we're gonna have to see the take on that and
Well,
whether or
yeah, I
not
saw that
it's
on
gonna
the
take as long.
trailer
So
thing. Yeah.
yeah,
but like if you think about it, the rituals they were terrible in like personally they were terrible in Shadows of Evil. But if it was in Der Eisendrache, if you would think rituals wise, you would think what would you think? Do you like go maybe do what in Origins, you go turn on a generator for
It's
about
literally the same thing.
seriously, it's like
Yeah.
it's exactly like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. If there's more people on it,
yeah.
it powers up faster. It's the same exact thing.
Yeah, generate. If you think about it, though, Shadows of Evil is literally just a reskin of all Black Ops 2 Zombies maps. I mean, the Mob of the Dead is literally. I mean, like, look at like the sword is literally Hell's Retriever or whatever. I mean, also we have like I'm trying to think off the top of my head right now of crazy similar stuff. I mean, like we had the plane from Mob of the Dead, which obviously had like
Hmm.
no relation. It was just the slight Easter
It
egg,
was just
but
there, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like
The
right
different.
right
There.
now
Sorry. Go ahead.
they had a lot of things though. Yeah, go ahead.
No.
I'll
Yeah.
think while you talk.
I mean, basically, like, if looking at Der Eisendrache as well, like, it's using so many different things that we've seen before. But, like, right now, like, looking at it, though, it does look like it's going to be one of the best zombies maps, hands down. Just from. Because it's literally taking all of my favorite stuff from
Mhm.
different maps, and that's what I think they're doing good with it. Like, I really
Yeah.
enjoyed Mob of the Dead. Like, that was my favorite map as well.
Oh, for
So
sure.
feeding the
Yeah.
different things, like that's awesome, and you get a new weapon, and then we're gonna have to figure out maybe you can upgrade it and make it like even more OP. And like I just really hope that they do this right. Like as of right now, it looks good, but this was the same thing I was saying with Shadows of Evil before that came out. So I just hope it's not a letdown, and I from what everyone is saying, like it's gonna be really good and it has a
Oh
high
yeah.
standard. So I just hope that the other maps can live up to it because DLC maps have always been way better than the maps that come standard in the game, like
Yeah.
hands down. So I mean I was expecting the map that you get with the game is gonna be subpar compared to the other ones. I just hope they live up to the hype and it's one of
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
maps that
totally.
you can play for 3 months until the next one comes out or whatever.
So, yeah, you don't get like we want this to be a map you don't get bored of. And this is something I'd like to point out is that we have a month to go and search around the map, find out whatever we're gonna go because wherever we want to go to like go do, because PC is not getting it. They can't go through the game files,
Data mining.
and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's
It's harder
what
to do it on PS4.
it's harder to do it on
And
PS3.
I'm so glad about that too. I was so tired of people just straight going into the code, breaking it down, and finding it. Because I mean, like I guess yes, it's better to find the Easter eggs now, but it takes out the whole actual hard work and test and failure and retrying it and whatnot and the community effort together, and it just takes one guy to play God and be like, oh yeah, I'll release this information here and release that here, but I'm not going to say so much. But getting back to my point though on how similar the other maps were, because I just remembered so much. If you think about it, the Shadows of Evil, the whole beast mode, that's literally Afterlife from Mob of the Dead.
Yeah.
The ritual tables, that's literally the teleport, or not the teleporters,
Generators.
the 115 generators from Origins. So I mean, Origins, or sorry, Shadows of Evil was literally just a reskin, and it's like morphing Origins and Mob of the Dead together. It's like taking out the tank, but I mean, I guess we didn't have the staffs there. I mean,
Yeah.
but the buildable weapon, the Blundergat, is so similar to the Apothecary Servant that I mean, the Apothecary Servant is literally like a big monster shooting out Gersh devices. That's literally all it is. And if you've
Mhm.
seen the mod that Roland made, where it's the upgraded Apothecary Servant, right? And you have the regular one, which we know, right? And then we have the upgraded one. And what he did was because it's the same exact damage. Or whatever. I mean, I guess it's a little bit longer or whatever. But other than that, the big purple teleporter thing that sucks up zombies being longer, all you have is more ammo, right? So it's so simple because you could literally just bring that in. So, I mean, if you think about it, the map is literally just a reskin. If we look at Der Eisendrache or whatever,
Yeah.
we're going to have like another reskin map. But is reskin a bad idea? Most likely not, because they've tested out a lot of good stuff, and they look at what we really like, and they bring it to future maps. I'm glad that they're bringing stuff that we really like. They're really, one foot is off like of a cliff edge here with the whole specialist weapons because the bow. I could see that being a great addition. Gravity spikes, I'm a little bit edgy on that though. I'm not entirely sure if I'm gonna like the idea of being able to, because you know how many people are gonna be jumping off the sides of cliffs and stuff like that with the gravity spikes. Like
Oh
that's what
yeah.
I'm really nervous about is that they're gonna really bomb with it. But Treyarch always has a really great idea, and hopefully, they could really incorporate it into the game and have it be like a very large part. Because having the gravity spikes, obviously, that's probably gonna have to do something like with the Easter egg or something like that, where we have to like charge something up or break something or obviously
Launch
something
a
along
rocket.
those lines. So, yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm thinking.
I mean,
is
my-
that there's
my-
gonna be some larger importance.
And like the hype is so real for EISENDRACHE too, because
Oh,
like
yeah.
everyone just hated Shadows of Evil and stuff. But like seriously, my top 3 favorite maps: Mob of the Dead, Origins, and Ascension, and
Those
all that stuff
those are
is
my
being
three.
combined. So like, yeah,
Exactly.
we're very like-minded, I guess, about that, like the best aspects of zombies. So yeah, man, I think it's gonna be good. I'm definitely hyped for it.
See, it's not that we all hated Mob of the not Mob of the Dead, Shadows of Evil. It's not that we all hated
Shadows of Evil actually wasn't bad. I like Shadow. Here's the thing with Shadows of Evil though is Shadows of Evil really like it's one of those like you have your days right where some days I just can't look at Shadows of Evil because I like all right. When you get that feeling where you just complete the 4th ritual table and the Margwa spawns and you're happy, you're like finally, 10 minutes of setting up, getting enough points, doing this, jumping over this barrier, barely, power on everything in the ritual, and then that Margwa fucking slams you down and you're down, and especially when you're live on stream and everyone's finally hyped about you finishing up, dude, you just are like, ooh, fuck you, Vonderhaar, I hate you so
Yeah,
much.
I started.
That's the feeling I can't stand.
I started streaming like recently when I play on Shadows of Evil after I already open up the rituals and like do all that
See,
first, and then I'm like paused in like
I've
round
had
8
so
or
many
whatever.
people make fun of me. I've done it twice. All right, so
It's happened to me
first
as
time,
well.
right? First time I did the rituals, right, and I did every ritual besides the not the strip club, but the other one, finesse. I'm trying to think of it. It's
Oh,
the lady
Ruby
one.
Rabbit. No, that's the
No, not the Ruby
burlesque.
Rabbit. The other one,
Burlesque?
the theater.
Yeah, the
Burlesque. There you go. I was saying finesse.
It's
But
alright.
okay, so I did everything. I finally finished that when the Margwa spawns in, right? So I'm like, all right, I got I got my pistol or whatever. I can kill the Margwa, and I got caught on a car door, and the Margwa slammed me. And literally live on stream, dude. It was like 30 minutes after the stream starts, and I died. And I was so upset. I was like, are you kidding me? Like I'm never playing Shadows of Evil again. And then the other time, I finished every ritual, went down, pack a punch, whatever. And I had let's see, I don't remember what I was trying to do. Oh no, I didn't pack a punch. I was at like 4,700 points. Every barrier was repaired. There was no more pots. I was like, all right, I could just quickly do the Sal DeLuca Easter egg, and so I held a grenade for too long. I killed myself. I was so mad. I was like, and the worst part is you just have to go do everything over again. And it's like, in other maps it's not as bad because you could get right into it. Like. You get lucky, you get like a lot of points, double points, whatever, and the map goes by real quick, and you can actually get into the real training, and killing the zombies as fast as you can. But in Shadows of Evil, you are stuck doing this boring, tedious, saving up 10 points this way or shooting this zombie in the leg twice and trying to get him up here and waiting for the keepers to get into the ritual room so they will turn. It becomes so tedious after a while. You literally just want to smash your head into the wall. And then you have the Giant though, which is the exact opposite of Shadows of Evil, where it's literally the most simple map ever. And that's where I kind of feel like it's like the yin and yang of zombies, is that you got this very complex, very annoying map to deal with, but some people really like that challenge, and that's good for them. But then you have the Giant, which is literally the most simplistic, here's the power switch, push this button, and you got power for every perk in the thing, whatever. And, some days I like playing the Giant, because you got that, you got that simplistic feeling, and then other days I'm like, I'm feeling up to the challenge, let's do this. But, go on what you're saying.
I think that if EISENDRACHE was the map that came with the game and Shadows of Evil was a DLC map, we would appreciate it a lot more.
That's what
Lex
Lex was
said,
saying
yeah.
in one of his videos. Greg and I were actually watching it yesterday, I believe, and we were just watching it. And as he was saying it, people I was just scrolling down the comments as he was saying it, because it was really just gameplay in the background and stuff like that. and comments were like, "Oh, this is wrong. Why would you say that?" But then people are sticking up for him. It's like, well, if you watch the whole video, you would understand it. See, when people see something like that, when they go, oh, he said one thing, pause the video, comment, you know, or
Hmm.
people got to take in what people say about these maps. Like, I'm personally all for that. Like, I seriously think Der Eisendrache should have been a starting map, like instead of Shazvibel. For us
Oh,
as a
for sure.
community. But if you think about it, for the lower guys who can't afford a PS4 and who are seeing all these goddamn teaser trailers, they must be so jealous. Like the only reason I got a PS4 was because like I worked. If I didn't work, no PS4 for me. So like I would be on PS3, Black Ops 3. You know how bad that would be? I've seen the
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
graphics.
it's bad.
I don't. Let's leave that for another time because
Dude,
I
dude,
don't want
I did a
to.
bet with my friend, and each one of us had to. If you lost the bet, the other person had to buy the person who lost the bet Black Ops 3 on the PS3. So
What's so funny? I mean, I've seen people though who make like funny live streams of it, because you could literally make fun of it though.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
when you're on PS4 with Shadows of Evil, at first you gotta get like a spooky feeling, like the Margwa kind of scares the shit out of you, whatever. But when you go on PS3, it's so bad.
The
Everything is
Margwas
literally.
heads are like demented, like
yeah,
backwards.
It's like, all right, it's literally like someone went to. I mean, I've seen World of War custom zombies maps that are better, and like that's not even like an insult to it. That's literally like an accurate like description. It's so
Yeah.
bad. It is literally like I mean, I've seen the weapons on it. It looks terrible. The liquid divinium, right? Like when you gain a liquid divinium, they didn't even bother capitalizing the L in liquid divinium like they have
yeah,
it
I
in
know.
newer. Like they literally, all right. So
Yeah,
what they did
when
was they
you
like.
it's like literally a photo, like a picture. You get like the picture of it and you like try cutting it out in
It's a
Photoshop and it's
PN
like worse than that.
Exactly.
It's not even a decent PNG they use. It's like
It's like the quick selection tool too. You
yeah,
can see the pixels in it. You're like, is this for real? Like,
Yeah, and then
and
and
you
same
you're
thing
like
with
Activision. Like, why would you ever put this? It's a little all right. All right, you take new gen Black Ops 3 and you stick in a paper shredder, and last gen is what comes out the other side. That's literally last gen.
yeah,
And
it's
it's like,
just
how, like, why would this game company ever do? I actually had Black Ops 3 pre-ordered for last gen, right? And I had GameStop personally call me and they say, yeah, so they're not having campaign mode. I was like, I don't really care. I don't really play campaign mode. And the guy at GameStop literally told me this. He goes, I've seen gameplay of it, dude. Get next gen now. It's literally poop. And I was like, thanks for being real, man. Because like I probably would have gotten it for like Xbox or PS3 or whatever, and I was like, all right, maybe this game actually might be good. And what's ironic though is Black Ops 3 actually leaked like 3 days early on the Pirate Bay or whatever, right?
yeah.
So everyone who had like a JTAG Xbox or a jailbroken PS3 or whatever, they were all getting early. But however, they're getting this PS3 copy, right? So it was so bad. And like Black Ops 3 had so many bad reviews because just about the only gameplay that a lot of people were seeing, other than people who actually had like a legitimate early copy. But I mean, a lot of people, including myself, had it shipped out from like Dubai and stuff like that. So I mean, like, so we had like an actual legitimate good copy, but gameplay that was actually surfacing though was from obviously people who didn't have like a reputation as like a legitimate YouTuber, and obviously every YouTuber wants to be on a good standing with Activision, so they're not obviously gonna post any gameplay early or do anything like that. But so the gameplay that was surfacing online was old gen, and people were disgusted with it. They're like, "This is what they give us." Like Ghost had better quality, and I was like, "Oh man, this is terrible." But
yeah.
I mean, last gen's so garbage. I cry. I cry. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, that's so true. It does look really. So I guess to wrap things up, from what you've seen and what you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate Drac before?
I mean, I've seen I've seen very minimal stuff though. I mean, from what I've seen compared to what's actually probably offered in the map, I've seen maybe like 1%. But from what I have seen though, like literally like and this isn't like some IGN just because I'm like a big fanboy of Activision or whatever that I'm gonna give it a good rating. But from what I've seen, I literally rate it like a 9 out of 10. And
Yeah.
I'm a very harsh critic when it comes to stuff. Like I gave Die Rise like 4 out of 10, and I like Die Rise, and I gave it a 4 out of 10. So let that hold true to its name as that 9 out of 10 because it looked really really awesome. Because even though it's really small, and a lot of people were upset that it was small, they really jam packed content in there, and having stuff in there rather than a bigger map is what I actually like because obviously you can't have the DLC be so big, and other DLCs were like 10 gigabytes and stuff like that, and it's just because of the map size, right? But if they actually put in good playable content that actually makes the map fun instead of just more areas to explore, that's what I look forward to. And EISENDRACHE really has that, lots of content, lots of stuff that really it's going to take a very long time for the map to slow down. And by the time the map really slows down, it's going to be like Shadows of Evil. We're still finding Easter eggs in Shadows of Evil months after, and the content is definitely not going to run dry until April or May or even March when the next map comes out. Probably not March, probably April. I mean, based upon when Mob of the Dead came out, which is the second DLC, that was like April 20th or something like that. So that's when we could probably see DLC 2. But unrelated though, 9 out of 10 looks amazing. IGN.
Nice. That
Yeah,
is
I
a very good
agree.
description.
I agree with that rating, I would say,
Mhm.
for sure. Is there anything else you guys want to touch on that maybe we forgot about or?
No, I'm just
Buff the
really
Weevil.
excited
Buff the
for
Weevil. Buff the Weevil.
Buff the Weevil. Oh God, the Weevil is
All right,
just
funny story. I do want to say this before we go. I want to say this. So, if you don't know, my brother is I'm Chucky FTW.
yeah,
I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him before,
yeah.
but
I
he
know.
was one of the he was one of the like the six. It was Smith Plays, Lex, Lonely Mailbox, Matt, Rad Austin, and Chucky, and they all went out to Treyarch Studios and they got a personal tour of Treyarch. They got to play, sit down, play EISENDRACHE. I mean, there's a lot of stuff he told me, and one funny thing though is when the first thing they do is they get dropped off by an Uber at Treyarch Studios, and first person they see walking out the door is David Vonderhaar, right? And David Vonderhaar knows that the guys are showing up for a tour or whatever, so he's like, "Oh, you're the guys," and obviously he recognizes them because they're all YouTubers and whatnot. And so he's like, so later on in the tour, they're like, "Yeah, you can ask me any questions, and I'd be happy to answer them." And so obviously, people are like, "Oh, before we start, I got this question or whatever," and David Vonderhaar goes, "All right, listen. First of all, before anyone actually asks any questions, I will not. I repeat, I will not buff the Weevil." And I just thought it was so funny though because like
That's
he like
funny.
recognizes this huge thing that everyone wants, and then he's just like, "No." So I thought that was funny, but all right, that's my story. I ramble on. I know. I'm sorry.
No, that's a pretty good story actually.
No, I definitely liked this podcast opposed to some other ones because it went so off topic. I think it made it a lot better than just sticking to
Personally, I
the
love going
cut
off
and
topic.
dry. Yeah. So that was.
I like the overflow of information and knowing everything. So I really like to express what I know. And I mean, there's a lot of fun facts that a lot of people kind of don't really look at. So to be able to bring it to people's attention is something that I love doing. Plus, I love talking. If you guys can't tell, I mean,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
11. It's about almost midnight here. I'm about to hop off, but I'm still really energetic. Probably wouldn't help to so many Red Bulls, but all right, let's go
All
ahead.
right, guys.
Give
Thank
the-
you so much for watching episode 10 of the Quick Revive podcast with Novera. Any last words, Novera?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay.
No,
All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.